Stop losing clients so that this way your organization can stay profitable and last a long time. I'm your host Darius, and I've been helping businesses of all different sizes manage their projects and initiatives within their organization. And I've seen this countless of times where businesses lack the true understanding of client management skills. And the reality is that if you're not managing your clients effectively, they are not coming back to spend time and money with you. And the reality is that you cannot function as an organization without truly managing your clients effectively. But with that said, my name is Darius, and I'm here to help you master the art of project management. If you like the video, then please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you would like more tips and tricks on how to take you and your team's project management skills to the next level. And before we get started, if you know anyone that will benefit from this topic and conversation, please share the video with them so that they can get this information as well. But with that said, let's jump right in. So, there is a hidden cost in constantly losing clients, and no one really sees it until it is too late, and unfortunately, it is too late. The reality is that you need to manage your clients effectively, but you need to engage with them effectively as well, so that you can continue to work and keep them in your pipeline, and also as just a strategic partner. It should always be a partnership between you and your client. So let's talk about some of the hidden costs that it actually costs businesses when it comes to client management. Number one is client churn. You, my friend, are going through countless of clients, having to pull in more clients each and every day. And the sales cycle needs to continue to bring in new clients because you're struggling to keep the old ones. The reality is that it is 5 times easier to gain business from previous clients than it is from new clients. So having that client churn is just not good for your organization. Number two, that it comes with a problem when it comes to not managing your clients effectively is that your reputation becomes on the line. You need your clients to shout from the rooftops the great work that you and your team are capable to do. And if you're not having these effective and great client engagements, then chances are they're not going to scream your rooftops. But the reality also is that a client will speak on that one negative issue that happens a lot sooner than all the positive that you've done throughout the life cycle of your partnership. So the reality is you need to manage your clients effectively. Now, the other thing that you're going to see as a problem when it comes to not managing your clients effectively is future loss of business. Now, I know you're thinking, well, okay, we'll figure that out. Or you know what, it's not that bad. No. You need to manage your clients effectively because these are potential referrals. These are people that may actually talk about you enough to get other people interested. And a lot of other people will want to work with you if your referral comes in from someone they trust. If your referral comes in from someone they believe in and know, you know what, I can really trust this person and rely on this person to provide me with a great resource. Let me check it out for myself. And if you're not doing great work and if you're not managing your client effectively, you're going to miss out on those opportunities because those opportunities cost. So with that said, those are some of the problems that you'll see when you're not managing your clients effectively. Now that we understand that, why do clients actually leave? This is just as important as any other question. What is the reason that your clients are not sticking around? What are the reasons that your clients do not want to work with you? And what are the reasons why your clients are just ghosting you? One reason that you might see is that poor communication. There is a lack of communication. There's a lack of receptive communication, meaning that you may be communicating to the client, but the client isn't as receptive to that type of communication. The reality is that you need to be able to gauge and change the way you communicate with your clients depending upon their preference. The reality is that it's all about your clients, not about how you would rather speak to the client. So you may want to send an email, but that client might want to have a phone call. Figure out what that is at the top of the initiative and at the top of the project to ensure that you and the client come to an understanding of how to effectively communicate with one another. The other thing that leads to clients disappearing on you is the unrealistic expectations. You may have promised that you can get something done in a week, but it took your team 2 to 3 weeks because you did not go back to your team and say, hey team, what is the length of time that this is really going to take? The reality is that we can tell the client whatever we want, but the truth of the matter is that we first need to confirm and understand the exact and realistic due dates and expectations that are of the project. What this means is that if you tell your client, I am going to do this thing for you, and you don't keep that promise, you don't keep that expectation, that puts a sour taste in their mouth. Another root cause of why your clients might be actually leaving and disappearing is a lack of responsiveness. Your clients don't feel like you're important enough. Like, they're reaching out, you're not answering. It takes your team 2 days to get back. It takes your team 3 days to get back. That is really unprofessional. I would say at the very most, it should take your team 24 hours to get back to a client. But the reality is that you should be tapping your clients back at least 3 to 4 hours after they wrote you back. I'm not saying that they're expecting you to get to them same day or like same hour, same 15 minutes. But being responsive shows them that they are a priority to you and that they are important. And you're going to have to manage them in that way. Show them that you are important, that you do care about their business, that you do care about working with them. So respond to your clients and speak to them and make sure that they understand that you care. Now, the last root cause that I have is ineffective problem solving. Let's say a problem arises and you and the client need to figure it out, or it is a problem between you and your client. The reality is that you have to figure out a way to not only salvage the relationship, but solve the problem. And if you cannot do that effectively, it will lead to clients just disappearing on you. Why? Because they're not going to trust that you have their back. All about client management has to do with just showing them, I'm here for you, I'm here for your business, I take what you do seriously, and I take what you are expecting of us seriously. And once you can do that and build those strong relationships with your clients, you'll start to mitigate some of these reasons as to why they just disappear on your team. Now let's talk about how to create a client-centric organization so that this way your team is effectively engaging your clients. Number one is create awareness and understanding that your clients are number one. You cannot run a business without having someone to purchase your services, your product, or whatever it is that you're selling. That person will be your client. So you need to effectively make sure that you are explaining this to your team, the importance of managing your clients effectively. Create that awareness, have those conversations, do a training on why it is. Number two, establish clear expectations and boundaries with your team when it comes to client engaging. You need to have certain type of levers that your team can pull so that this way they can engage their clients effectively. For starters, walk them through what it would be like when a client onboards and you're now setting those expectations and setting up those client communications. You want to plan for it effectively. You want to see what's going on with the client at a certain time. Are they going to be available? But you have to plan for those things effectively. What will be the communication protocol? What is it that's going to be used to actually communicate? Are we going to be communicating through Slack? Are we going to be communicating through phone calls? Are we going to be communicating with the client through emails? Are we going to do all of the above? That has to be a part of that communication plan. When working with the client, how are you going to solve problems effectively? Have these conversations with your team. Come up with a strategy as to how to solve problems with your clients. And then lastly, develop like a form of satisfaction review, or how to make sure to keep them in retention and feedback loops, and just ensuring that you take it as seriously as possible when it comes to the performance of the work that you're providing and the quality. That is what you want to do to ensure you're keeping your clients happy and keeping them engaged, and you want to plan for that at the top of the client engagement. Number three is now just fostering accountability and empowerment. Empower your team to go out there and build the relationships in the ways that they are strong. Each team member is going to have a certain way that they work and how they are, but if they can connect with the client the way they know best, and the way they comfortably are, then their engagements will seem and become more authentic. And that's what you want, authentic client building engagements. You want to be able to empower them to do that, and by doing that, you want to be able to allow them to sometimes fail. The reality is we're not going to get everything right every single point of the time, but if you're building your team to that point where your team is growing consistently and is understanding the work consistently and is developing themselves consistently, you're in for such a great opportunity in time. Why? Because they are going to learn from all of their mistakes, but you have to empower them to first make them. Now, with that said, while you're empowering them, you need to keep them accountable. Keep them accountable to the statistics or the metrics that you're going to be using. So I need you to engage with your clients on a weekly basis. I need you to set up a comms plan that engages with your clients on a monthly basis for those clients that have gone a little bit dormant. How are you going to communicate with them effectively? Keep them accountable to those particular expectations. So after you've done all of those things, you and your team must commit to continued improvement. The reality is, once your team gets all these things in place, you have to commit to figuring out ways to continue to improve. So encourage team members to talk about their success and their wins, but also encourage them to discuss their losses and come from a place of nurturing and growing versus finger pointing. The worst thing you can do is constantly beat your team down on mistakes, because the reality is that if they're constantly beaten down on mistakes, they're going to be afraid to make any more. And being afraid to make mistakes often leave people paralyzed to do anything. Empower your teams, but also encourage them to improve alongside one another. And that is through knowledge sharing. That is through maybe switching up accounts, just in case one client may work well for one person, but not for the other person. Maybe switch the account around. Maybe that person might need to work with this client a little bit better because they have more things in common. But find out ways that you can effectively manage your clients and work on improving it. Now, once you do the work and get all these things done and completed with your team, you're going to see that the client retention rates are going to increase. You're going to see that your client satisfaction rates are going to increase. Check and ask for feedback and see what are y'all doing that could be better. And you'll show them that you're truly making an effort to be better for them and their organization. Put your clients first. Put your clients' needs first. And once you put these things into place, I guarantee you that your clients are going to be coming back saying, hey, we had a great time with you. We want to continue to work with you. We want to give you some referrals. We want to ensure that we continue to grow our partnership. The goal with all client engagement is that you, my friend, want to become a trusted partner. And that takes time. It takes trust. It takes effort. It takes intentionality. Building those relationships with your clients over time, where you're delivering on time, you're keeping things easy for them, and you're continuing to show them that you put them first in terms of your organization, then you're going to become a trusted partner, and that's where you want to land with your clients. You want them to come to you and trust your word and trust what it is that you provide, but you have to effectively manage your clients first. So build those teams, encourage your teams to grow, encourage your teams to better manage your clients so that this way your organization no longer loses clients. With that said, I am Darius, as I mentioned, and I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you found this video helpful, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel for more project management tips, and please share with anyone in your organization or network that you believe that this video can help them to improve their client management skills. It was such a blast explaining this one to you all, and if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. If you would like to discuss this in a 30-minute consultation, I'm actually going to include a link to my Calendly down below in the description as well. Please feel free to put a meeting on my calendar and let's discuss how your team is effectively or not effectively managing clients. But with that said, it was a pleasure. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching all the way to the end, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you.